All right, welcome back. It's time to bring in our panel today. UIndy political science professor Dr. Laura Wilson, former state party chair for the Indiana Democrats, Robin Winston, and 2016 vice chair for the Indiana Trump campaign, Tony Samuel, with us as well. Let's start with Laura. In the midst of his suspension, we just heard from Attorney General Curtis Hill and one of his opponents, Todd Rokita. This is going to be an interesting convention race, to say the least, Laura.
It is, and it's fun to watch it play out in the convention, especially a convention this year, which is all virtual and really amidst a crazy political culture. But to watch this play out in this way, you have an incumbent attorney general who won great numbers, but has endured incredible controversy. There's challenges in party. You have challenges from the Democratic Party. There's a lot going on here, and this is just the attorney general of Indiana. It's a very important position, but not one we often give a lot of attention to. So a lot of stuff to pay attention to right now as we see this play out.
Certainly a lot of scrutiny this year. Robin, Democrats holding their convention this weekend, and by early this week, we could know who your party is nominating in this race for AG.
We have two outstanding candidates, State Senator Karen Tallian and former Evansville Mayor Jonathan Weinzapfel. There are 2,500 delegates that could be at our convention. They balloted by, like we should, by mail in a lot of cases. And so it's going to be an exciting convention. I think that we will not come out as fractured as the Republican Party will when they do theirs next month.
And Tony, this convention fight for Republicans pretty noteworthy for a lot of reasons, including the suspension and the allegations the AG has faced, but also in the sense that this is a convention vote, but there's no convention, really. You can't work the room when you can't be in the room.
Yeah, that's a shame, but I know all the candidates are doing their best to reach out to delegates. Curtis Hill has been traveling the state, meeting with delegates in big and small groups, and doing a lot as far as op-ed pieces that then get sent out to delegates and other type of mail and that sort of thing. They all are. I would disagree with Todd Rokita. Curtis Hill can win this, and I think he will. I think he'll get through the convention. I'm one of those delegates, and I'll be voting for Curtis Hill, and you know that I know Todd Rokita and have helped him in the past, but I just don't think that it's time for Todd to do this again. I think he's trying to revamp his political career, where Curtis is a known quantity as Attorney General. He's done a great job for conservatives and for all Hoosiers, working on protecting Second Amendment rights and protecting the unborn and so on and so forth.
But you talk about viability, you talk about polling numbers there, Tony. Let's take a look at some of those polling numbers out there. This is in the race for Attorney General. These are numbers that came from a poll that Karen Tallian commissioned showing her tied with Curtis Hill, 36-36. Jonathan Weinzapfel in a hypothetical matchup with Curtis Hill. He's down a couple of points there. We also have some other races to show you here from that same poll. The race for governor. Governor Holcomb there with a very big lead, this poll from the end of May. And then in the race for president in Indiana, Donald Trump ahead of Joe Biden by 10 points here in Indiana. But other recent polls have shown Biden growing his lead nationally, now 49-41 when you average out all of the recent polls. Robin, what do you guys make looking at some of these numbers with the election now 4.5 months away?
First off, I've been trying to convince the Biden campaign that Indiana can be more viable. Secondly, on Attorney General, voters will be making a decision if it is indeed Tony's pick, Curtis Hill, as whether or not they want to elect somebody who has opposed the Affordable Care Act, been pretty silent on the hate crimes bill, which is not real strong, and then obviously the other issues that he had. And then as it relates to governor, tremendous time for a person with skills in medical to be running. Woody Myers has those skills. I hope that he will inform voters of those. One thing that I noticed election day, Dan, here in Marion County, Woody Myers got 89 or 88,000 votes. Eric Holton's 39,000 votes. That's a tremendous margin in an election, which calls out more and more the need to keep our no excuse absentee voting going forward.
Myers, though, way down in that poll. Tony, what else stands out to you looking at those poll numbers?
Well, a lot stands out. I don't buy the fact that some of them show that Biden's got such a lead. Remember that polls weren't good for Donald Trump 4 years ago, but we knew he'd win big in Indiana. He won by 20 points. I predicted that. I predict now that he's going to win by more than 20 in Indiana. Related to the AG's race, I think Curtis Hill can beat either of those Democrat challengers, whichever one it is, on the merits of his 4 years. But when you've got a big win in Indiana for Donald Trump, that's going to carry on down the ticket. And folks in Indiana, are not going to vote for somebody that's so liberal as either one of those two candidates. So I think Curtis Hill can win both in the convention and in the general.
Okay. Laura, what do you make of those numbers and the impact of the news here the past couple of weeks? How's that impacting, especially that race for president?
Yeah, well, I think the race for president is really important here. We saw Donald Trump's approval ratings go down to 39%, which is the lowest they've been since October. Of course, months until the election, but public perception is everything. And Tony mentioned this. I think I heard this before on the show. Just the importance of that coattail effect and that down ballot effect. This was really important for Donald Trump, for the Republicans, and important for Joe Biden, for the Democrats. For any of people that were one of 9 states that elects our governor at the same time as the president, people don't pay enough attention to these races at the state level that are really important. But they will look at that presidential race and how they feel about the president, and then they'll mark down Republican or Democrat. A lot of folks do still straight ticket vote. And so I think that's where this polling really is most important here, and how it's shaping not just how they feel about one candidate, but how they feel about the entire party and which way voters are ultimately going to decide.
All right, Laura, Robin, Tony, thanks so much. We'll see you again soon. Coming up next this Sunday in Focus, the latest on the coronavirus. Indiana moving forward, still making progress, but there are warning signs in other states where things aren't going so well. Stick around. We'll be right back.